Yeah, g'day guys, me again. I thought I'd just do a quick video on my portable fridge that fits in my car. There's a lot of videos out there showing different fridge slides and options that you can do in the back of your car for trips away, but I've never really seen much about how to actually attach the fridge to them. So this is what I do, and it's worked out well. So I have my fridge. It's a WAECO fridge. Most fridges, even other brands that I've owned, have nut inserts in the bottom of them, like a threaded bolt hole, and I use that to attach my fridge to a slide. This one in particular is wooden, so I was able to drill holes through it, but even if it's a metal prefabricated slide, you can still just put some holes in there, bolt it up from underneath. Other fridges have feet on them, rubber feet, that I've taken off before and reused those holes, for example. So that's what I do. A lot of people do use straps as well, but I've always found they sort of get in the way and they still are loose, so your fridge will be rocking as you're going over terrain. Not ideal. Another thing I've done here, when I had this manufactured for me, it was just a flat slide. I made these supports, I guess you'd call it, to suit the fridge. So when I lift the fridge on there, you'll see it'll just sit in these supports nice and tight, so it doesn't move by itself at all anyway. And the bolts coming from underneath will then just secure it down to the slide. It's never let me down in all the trips we've done, and we've done some pretty serious trips. And yeah, so I'll go ahead and bolt it up now and you can sort of get an idea of what it does. Right, so with the fridge sitting on the slide, you get an idea of how these blocks just locate the fridge. It was pretty easy. They're just a piece of pine that I roughly traced out and used a jigsaw to cut these corners out with. So the fridge is just sitting there. You can see it just sits in nice and neat, so it doesn't move at all. The slide's moving at the moment, but when it is in place, the lead's in the way, I can't shut it, but when it is locked in there, it's not going to move anyway, and the bolts just hold it down on the slide itself. So like anything, it's just a bolt from underneath, but I've also made a rubber, I guess washer you'd call it, just to take any shock out of any twisting that the fridge is going to do. So if the fridge does want to pull on these bolts, it's going to be lessen the impact with these pieces of rubber. Also, they will resist the bolt coming undone by itself through vibrations and corrugations and things like that. So they go underneath here. Okay, so hopefully it just lines up with the fridge. There it goes. And yeah, it's as easy as that. So I don't over tighten it, just by hand. It's doing up onto the piece of rubber. A couple of turns, and that's it. 4 of those, this fridge isn't going to go anywhere. Okay, and just out of interest, this is how the lead is run to the fridge. So it's supported in air, and you can see I've just taken it over the handle and down to the bottom of the fridge, and that keeps it up out of the way, so when I shut my slide, the cable doesn't get caught up in it down low. It's still suspended up high, and it just collapses and then extends again as I pull it out. It never gets caught in anything, and everything's sweet. So locked in position, you can see how sturdy the fridge is. It's never moved the whole time I've had this car and this setup. It's been awesome. Highly recommend just bolting it from the bottom. Can't go wrong. And a little tip that we found handy, I screwed a little magnet on the roof of the lid of the fridge, and it just holds the lid up out of the way when we're going in and out of the fridge, because obviously I couldn't open the the lid all the way, it would hit the door. So a nice little workaround, bit of a hack. Okay, good luck with your fridge. I love it. I love mine.